Shedeur Sanders did not practice, and his status for Saturday is very much in doubt. It is an oblique injury, and while I am not here in any way to speculate on injuries, that is rule number one. You do not speculate on injuries. Generally speaking, oblique injuries, you don't play that week. And there he is. And this is video from Nick Camino, which is WKYC, Channel 3 NBC in Cleveland. And this is the only video that really anyone has of Shedeur looking uncomfortable. This was during one-on-one drills. Sanders was working with the tight ends far away from where the other quarterbacks were working with wide receivers near the NovaCare locker rooms and where all the fans and where the media was assembled. And all of us kept asking, why isn't Shedeur down here? And why is Tyler Huntley working in doing one-on-ones as the third quarterback? Love Tyler Huntley and love that Snoop got off the couch and was able to play in the fourth quarter last week in Carolina, but Shedeur Sanders should be part of those one-on-ones. He was not, guys, part of those one-on-ones. As it stands right now, if Dillon Gabriel can go, and he did do 11-on-11 work today, how the hammy feels tomorrow, it would be Gabriel for what I'm guessing to be the same formula as last week, maybe 3/4, maybe a half. And then, Frank, it is Snoop Huntley time, and who knows when Shedeur Sanders could be back.
And that's the thing. At this point, you start thinking about, okay, well, the preseason is going to be over in about, 12 days? Yeah. Is Shedeur Sanders really going to be healthy for their final preseason game? I doubt it. Oblique injuries are kind of nothing to mess with. And then you think about just the context of where he is on this team. As well as he played last week, and as many people as watched and talked about it and raved about it, he was good. There's no indication he's not fourth on the depth chart still. Now he has basically no chance to move up. Like other guys might move down. Dillon Gabriel could go out in this preseason game and struggle mightily, and it just kind of moves down that way, and Sanders moves up. But as far as just reps go, this might be the last. We might have watched the only time we're going to see Shedeur Sanders on an NFL field this entire season, if you think about it. Like, there's no guarantee he plays in a regular season. There's certainly now no guarantee he plays the rest of the preseason. It's going to be hard for him to move up the depth chart. This was a bad injury for Shedeur. Just horrible timing for him coming off of the positive preseason debut. You just wonder what this means for him in the context of where he starts the season on the depth chart when he gets his next chance. As fortunate as he was last week to kind of get this start and do really, really well with it, the bad fortune happened now. This is a really, really tough injury for him. A pretty big setback for him.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, from an exhibition rep standpoint, not ideal at all for him, right? This is his opportunity to plant a seed. And I think that's one, to me, part of the Shedeur story here is everything he does in the preseason right now is not necessarily aimed at getting him moving up the depth chart. Like when I talked to Kevin Stefanski about this, it was very much geared toward, is he going to plant a seed? Is he going to do something that when we get into the season and we start to make, decisions down the line, whether there's injuries with quarterbacks, sometimes it's just the way the schedule plays out. If suddenly you're, sitting in November and you're feeling like you're falling out of playoff contention and you're starting to make decisions for the future, has Shedeur done enough in the preseason to say to you, we need to get a look at him in a regular season game now at this point? I think they want to feel that way, both from a Dillon Gabriel standpoint and a Shedeur Sanders standpoint. You want to have both rookies plant a seed that open up an opportunity later down the line where if you're making decisions, it keeps them in the equation. I will say this, although it's not ideal for Shedeur, I wonder if this might be somewhat ideal for the Browns from the standpoint of getting an unobstructed look at Dillon Gabriel. Because I truly believe if you put Dillon Gabriel in a game with Shedeur Sanders right now, you're going to have Browns fans who want to see Shedeur Sanders on the field. That's nothing against Dillon Gabriel. Andrew, you and I were in Carolina. I was stunned when I was walking into that stadium how many Colorado Buffalo fans were there, how many Cleveland Brown fans were there. It was stunning to me how many people had showed out to this game in Carolina, North Carolina, to see Shedeur Sanders play. So in a way, I will say this, I think it takes Shedeur out of the mix, at least for one game here, it looks like, and it gives him the chance, if he's healthy, to get a look at Dillon Gabriel without having to worry about, well, when can we get Shedeur in this game as well?
I think the headline truly, Frank, was, even before today, Joe Flacco is going to be your starting quarterback, barring something highly unforeseen week one. I think we knew it a week ago. I think that was pretty much locked in and cemented today, because Kenny Pickett is still only doing 7-on-7. And if he is not ready to get the car back on the high and go 80, then, as you said, look at the calendar here. Kevin Stefanski has intimated all summer that he would like to maybe not name a starter, but know internally his starter before that Week 3 Rams game.
Yeah, it has to be Flacco now. I mean, nobody else has been healthy enough to really make a move on him. So, and if this was a normal quarterback competition, this would all be important. All these moving parts. If Flacco's going to start, Kenny Pickett probably has to prove something. He hasn't been on the field a lot. You got to do something, right? Like, this is a team that could keep 4 quarterbacks or maybe doesn't. We don't know. It's not like the Browns have a ton invested in him, so who knows? Dillon Gabriel was a 3rd-round pick. They want to get a good look at him to see kind of, can we put him in a game if we have to? But it just all comes back to Shedeur, because it's this weird phenomenon we've never seen before from a 5th-round rookie. But yes, all this other stuff is interesting. I've never wondered that Flacco's going to be the starter. Of course he is. Like, every indication is they're going to start Flacco Week 1. It's just when you look at these first 6 games, you realize really quickly that the Browns could be 0-6 at the end of it. 1-5, I don't even think would be that bad, honestly, for them. That's how tough their first 6 games are. What happens after that? And what happens if they say, okay, we have to go to a new quarterback, and that quarterback is, who is it? That's what I was trying to figure out in this August. And for Shedeur fans of the many, Charles, as you talked about, they were, oh yeah, of course it's going to be him. Well, now his chances of getting that spot are really set back. Like you said, did he plant a seed? I don't know that you could do that in just a half of preseason football.
Well, yeah, I mean, we won't know that now. I mean, it's the planting the seed was the expanse of the preseason, the exhibition games. When they were going into full squad minicamp, and I had a chance to talk to somebody inside the organization, the way it was described to me was, look, he's 4th on the depth chart. Here's the ground he needs to make up. There's verbiage issues right now with him. There's NFL terminology issues. There's just basic NFL quarterbacking where he's a little bit behind the curve. And from what I had understood, coming out of that Carolina game, I had a chance to catch somebody on the way to the bus. And what I was told was he's made strides, that already they have seen him make sizable strides in those areas. And now you take that off the table a little bit, at least in terms of the live repping of it, right? Not so much the classroom work. So yeah, I mean, look, it's a downer, but I think if you asked Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry at the start, construct how this season should go, if they were being honest and just openly talking, you're going to start a veteran quarterback against that schedule, right? You're going to start someone who's proven he can move that offense under Kevin Stefanski, and you're going to give the team the best chance to win and see where it goes. To me, that's always Flacco in the saddle when we kick off in September, and then you kind of see how things unfold. It's a brutal schedule. What's going to happen with Quinshon Judkins? There are other things hanging over this team right now, but I think had the brass been able to just sit down and say, look, ideally, yes, we drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks. We don't want to start those guys. That's not how we want to move forward with this. We want to go out there with a veteran who we know can move this offense and give us our best shot. And then we will adjust as we go if we have to.
The schedule goes like this: home for Joe Burrow, at Lamar Jackson, home for Jordan Love, at Jared Goff, in London against the Vikings, and then back home without a bye against Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers in Pittsburgh. It was always, barring something just stunningly unforeseen, a Russell Wilson-like, wow, how do we keep this kid on the bench kind of performance from either of the rookies. It was always going to be a veteran. But Shedeur gave us that taste, and he proved that he could play on Friday, and everybody wanted more. And we're not going to get it, likely at least not this week. And get ready for Joe Flacco and Joe Burrow. By the way, Joe Flacco, Joe Burrow, week 1 on September 7th in Cleveland, where the Bengals did win last year, but in years past, the Browns, especially go back to 23, have had Joe Burrow's number. That's a fun game. That's a fun game, week 1.
Andrew,
Burrow, Flacco's going to be slinging it.
Come on.
Oh, come on.
There's like a million good games in week 1. That's the one I'm going to be like, okay. Yeah,
first
I'm
of
not
all,
watching Joe Flacco.
Frank, every
Yes.
game week 1 is a good game. Okay?
It is. I will agree with that.
And I truly do mean this. You have no idea what's
He
going to
already-
happen week 1.
He already reversed. That's it. It just took one stern word from Andrew Siciliano, and Frank immediately reversed.
See, I won't argue with
example-
Andrew yet. I'll argue with you, Charles.
Yeah,
all
you could
day.
argue. all you
We
want.
know that.
I'm here for the argument.
God.
But for example, Cam Ward on the road for week 1. Yeah, the Broncos are probably going to win, right? But sign me up for that one. That's a sneaky good one in the late window. I want to see Cam Ward sling it. Do I think they're likely going to win against a Vance Joseph defense that had 6 guys last year of career highs in sacks? No, unlikely. But it's fun, isn't it?
Week 1's great. I love week 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Denver, Tennessee. Sure. Why not? Sign me up. But yeah, I'm not sitting here a month away going like, ooh, I get to see Joe Flacco play football in week 1. So I'll throw a little cold water on that one.
You know what? You wait till he has a stretch handoff, play fake, pulls it back, turns around, and hits Jerry Jeudy on a deep crosser. He gets to the sideline and he's going 70 yards, and then they have the
It could
shot
happen
Al
against that
Golden on the
Bengals defense.
sideline.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Bengals defense.
Yeah, come on, guys. I'm telling you that game is going to be fun. I am going to speak it into existence.
And again, you're right, against that Bengals defense. It could be a game in the 40s. Let's be honest. I mean, that's how bad the Bengals defense is. And
that they did not look good.
The thing about
Philly.
Flacco too is, I mean, do we forget that I'll never forget when he stepped in as the starter, all of a sudden I was like, wow, Kevin Stefanski's offense got really vertical all of a sudden. Amari Cooper is catching balls downfield. David Njoku's come alive. I'm like, this entire offense is scoring points. Now, granted, he's probably going to make a couple big Flacco mistakes. I listen. I don't like the fact that a lot of the Shedeur conversation has been focused in a way where some people almost act like the Browns are just this destitute team, right? Like they've got talented veterans. They can go out and win football games.
The defense will be so much better this year.
Prioritize that. Yes, absolutely. You don't want to prioritize. I'm sorry, you don't want to prioritize a 5th-round Shedeur Sanders over winning games for your veteran players. And by the way, didn't Myles Garrett just make that clear in the offseason to the Browns? He feels like his prime is getting wasted, and I can't argue that. So don't go out there with the aim of starting anybody but the guy who gives you the best chance to win at the start of the season, and that's Joe Flacco. Now, if it takes a left turn, then you deal with it then. But you don't go into it thinking, how can we get Shedeur as high up the depth chart as possible? That was never the goal.
But that left turn is like NASCAR, Charles. It's coming and it's coming. There's no way around that left turn. It's going to happen to the Browns. Like, if you guys want to make an inside, if you guys want to make an inside coverage bet on the over under for the Browns wins, I got y'all. Like, yeah, I'll take the under. That team's not going to be good. It's just not.
Jimmy Haslam said a couple of weeks ago that yes, at one point you have to see the rookies this year. Everyone knows that is the case. They're going to try to win some games. However, before they get there, and today both Myles Garrett and Carson Schlesinger living in the backfield against a very good Philadelphia
Schlesinger's going to be really
offensive
good. Really
line.
Good, yeah.